cross, get it about love.
Jaron Ennis found a way to put himself into the Canelo Crawford situation. Now Jaron Boots Ennis' name is kind of in the mix when it comes to this fight.
I need y'all to get the likes up, man. Get the likes up.
And we talked about it quite a bit, right? But there's some things that I saw after the fact. And I seen Bernie the Boxer's video and his thoughts on the whole situation. Now, mind you, he's part of Team Crawford. So he gave his thoughts on it. And Crawford himself apparently don't give a shit. Bernie really don't care. But, you know, people was asking his thoughts on it. And honestly, I listened to what Bernie said. And I agree with everything Bernie said for the most part. Like, there was nothing that I really disagreed with what he said. Even though me personally, I don't really care. Because I don't think it's going to help Canelo Alvarez in his quest to stop Terence Crawford from becoming the best fighter of this generation. I just don't think it's going to stop it, right? If anything, Jaron Boots Ennis is probably in there kicking Canelo Alvarez's ass, like I've been telling you guys. He's probably kicking his ass. He's probably giving Canelo all he can handle and that much more. Canelo Alvarez is lumped up and swollen up and all that. And Boots in there just having the time of his life, styling and profiling on Canelo Alvarez. We hear rumors all the time that Jaron Boots Ennis be kicking ass in sparring, kicking ass in camps. So he's probably likely kicking Canelo's ass as well. But one thing Bernie did say is that Jaron Boots Ennis is a sellout. Now, is Jaron Boots Ennis a sellout? That's a heavy jacket to put on a guy, right? I don't think he's a sellout or anything like that. I think it's just saying things like that for shock value. I don't think Boots Ennis is a sellout. But one thing Bernie did say that I really, really agree with 100% is that they wouldn't help us like that. And I don't want to bring race into it or anything, and it's perfectly fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping. But that's the truth. If there was a top-level guy who was a world champion caliber fighter, Latino guy, Mexican guy, to be exact, he likely wouldn't be in Crawford's camp, right? If he was a Mexican guy, top-level guy, maybe not even world champion, but quite, you know, on his rise there, whatever the case, he wouldn't be in Crawford's camp helping Crawford prepare to beat a fellow Latino fighter. He just wouldn't do it. He just wouldn't do it. A Mexican guy from Mexico coming to help Terence Crawford in the ring, or even in some cases, a Mexican-American guy who has a strong national pride for his heritage will not be in camp helping Crawford prepare to beat a fellow Mexican. That just won't happen. That just won't happen. Right? And I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying this is what it is. So some guys look at Boots like, man, why you over there? And they wouldn't do it for us. And I totally see that. Right? But I don't think it's going to help Canelo. Canelo didn't do nothing but put Boots in camp for Boots to go up in there and beat up on him. Boots himself will gain a lot of confidence. Right? And Canelo himself will probably lose a little confidence because he can't do nothing with Jaron Boots Ennis. Right? I would imagine this is likely what's happening in camp. Canelo Alvarez, I just don't know, right? I just don't know. But what I do know is that Jaron Boots Ennis is receiving a lot of heat for this. He's receiving a lot of heat from this. This is going to be the most buzz he going to get going into his fight with Lima. You know, most people still don't know how to say this dude's name yet. But this is the most buzz he's going to get going into that fight. And maybe this was a good PR move to kind of get his people interested in his fight, what he got going on, right? To gain some more fans, to get the Canelo Alvarez fans on board with you, right? And likely that's a good business move, good smart business move. But there's people that's looking at it a certain type of way, right? Me personally, I'm not gonna look at it no type of way. I look at it as Jaron Boots Ennis probably looking at it as an opportunity. I do see what other people are saying though. I do see that, but I'm not gonna put that coat on Boots. I will say, though, that they wouldn't be in camp helping Crawford like that. You know what I'm saying? They just wouldn't do it. It just wouldn't happen. But it is what it is. I don't think it's going to help Canelo that much at all. Jaron Boots Ennis, like I said, he's probably doing nothing but gaining confidence himself. And he's up in there beating up on Canelo Alvarez. He may have to tone it down a little bit because he's probably doing a little bit too much, right? He may have to dial it down a little bit, pull it back because he's probably kicking Canelo's ass in camp. And Canelo ain't going to have nothing left by the time we get to fight week, right? But other things that Bernie said in his interview, right? Bernie had a really good interview. Go check it out. But he said Crawford's looking great, right? He didn't want to give too much details, but he said Crawford's looking great. And they seem extremely confident that this thing is going to work out. You know what I'm saying? They said Bud lives like a monk. He lives like a monk, so he don't do none of that stuff. I think this is going to be a great fight, you guys. I think it's going to be a really good one. We talked about it so much. There's not too much more I can say right now. We got to let the week play out a little bit. But Terence Bud Crawford is definitely locked in. And I don't think this whole Jaron Boots Ennis thing is going to play a factor into how this fight goes. I think the outcome has already been preordained. But yeah, man, that's just my take on some of the latest news with Jaron Boots Ennis. I don't think he's a sellout or anything like that. I mean, guys are going to say that, you know what I'm saying, just to kind of poke fun and all that. But I don't think truly they really believe that either. But that's just the way it looks, right? That's just the way it looks. And that's all I'm going to say. But tell me what you guys think. Is it a problem that Jaron Boots Ennis is in camp helping Canelo Alvarez to beat a fellow American fighter? Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.